electric cars by certain dates. I think 2001, it was supposed to be like 5%. That was the mandate. It was called the ZEV mandate, the Zero Emissions Vehicle Mandate. It was passed in 1990. And so the automakers knew that they had to be working towards that goal, that mandate of having so many cars in the state, sold in the state be electric. So they all started in the early to mid-90s. They all started developing electric cars. And GM used that Impact prototype that AeroVironment had developed for it and continued the development of that, and that became the EV1, the GM EV1, the famous modern electric car that the movie is based on. GM never sold the EV1. They only leased it. So that's why they don't exist any today, because GM demanded them all back after the leases, forcibly repossessed them, and crushed them all. So from December 97 through early 2003, Toyota they produced about 14 to 1,500 of these. 340 or so sold or leased with the option to buy out the lease at the end of the 3 years. 1,100 or so that were fleet leased to utility companies, government agencies, and those did not have the option to be sold to the lessee. Those were commercial fleet leases, and those were all taken back by Toyota, and Toyota did start crushing them, but my friend Chelsea Sexton and her group of Don't Crush, and they morphed into Plug in America, they were very successful in their protests and their campaigns to get Toyota to stop crushing these cars. So we think Toyota probably maybe crushed, 300 of these or so, and Toyota no longer crushes these cars, and they take them back from fleet lease, and if they're still usable, they put them back out on lease to somebody else, or if they're not, then they use them for parts support for the existing leases that are out there. So there's really only a couple big lessees left. Southern California Edison in LA still has 300 of these cars. What happened was, here we get into politics. Basically at the federal level, what happened was, George W. Bush was elected in 2000, and the automakers realized, now, Clinton's gone, and he was a stickler, and he was going to support California, but now Bush is elected, and now we've got a friend in the White House, and GM's chief Washington lobbyist, Andrew Card, became Bush's chief of staff in the White House. So they realized, we can fight California now, we can sue them and, launch multiple lawsuits on them, we can fight this, and the White House is going to support us. So that's what happened. As soon as George Bush was elected, the automakers started fighting it big time. They never liked the mandate to begin with, but then they were like, all right, we're going to sue the hell out of California. So they just launched one lawsuit after another, and basically wore the California Air Resources Board down. We can't do this. We can't make these cars in the numbers you want, and so it's kind of a process of attrition, just wearing them down and beating up on them. And the California Air Resources Board didn't really have any spine, no backbone. They had poor leadership. There was a guy named Alan Lloyd who was actually on the payroll. He was the chairman of the California Air Resources Board. It turns out he was on the payroll of the oil companies.